The FL Studio browser window is where 97% of producers go to start their beats. First, we grab our favorite sounds, drag it over to the channel rack, and start cooking up those hits. But if you want to make better beats faster, you're definitely going to need to know what I'm going to cover in this video. Artists can't wait on those beats, and you got some fire tracks to make. Today, I'm going to give you the 5 things you didn't know that you could do in the FL Studio browser window. What you learned today is going to have you running circles around other producers in this same DAW. You ready? Let's get into it. Tip number 1 is showing one open folder at a time. If you're like me, you have a ton of folders with all kinds of sounds in them. If we right click right here on the browser icon, then we're gonna go over to show only one folder content. So what is this gonna do? Whenever I open up a folder, let's say I wanna go to my favorites. Okay, now I wanna look at the 808s. Now I wanna go to the claps. Now I wanna go to the perks. Now I wanna go to the kicks. As you can see, what I need is opened up right here on my screen. I don't have a bunch of open folders with all my sounds just kind of sitting there laid out. As soon as I open the folder that I'm looking for, the other one collapses and it shows me all the sounds that I'm interested in getting right away. That means we can find what we want right here without doing a whole lot of scrolling. We scroll way too much on Instagram. We don't need to do it again while we're making beats. Tip number 2, syncing your loop to the beat. So you have your drums going and you decide that you want to go ahead and add a loop to this particular beat. If you take a look down here, you're going to see sync. Now, once you go ahead and enable sync, this is going to allow you to preview your loops in time with the drums that you already have up here. Now, just to let you know, this option only shows if the loop maker actually saved the tempo information inside the loop. So just to let you know, you're always going to have the option to use these features in the sample preview whenever you get loops from DesmondASounds.com. So make sure you go there and check it out right after this video. So I have a very basic kick pattern up here in the playlist. I'm just gonna play the kick pattern and just randomly start clicking on loops and watch how it's automatically locked right in time. So let's go ahead and experiment and take a listen together. And tip number 3, send sound to selected channel. Now, oftentimes we hear producers say, make sure you have great sound selection, and it's almost to the point that you don't even have to mix your beat. But if you notice, they never really explain how. So we're gonna go ahead and click on the sound, and then on our keyboard, we're gonna hit Shift, and then the down arrow or the up arrow. Click on it, up, 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 up. You see those sounds highlighting right there in the channel rack? That's our system just swapping out sound after sound after sound after sound. So you can go ahead and make your beat, and then at will, you could just start sorting and swapping out different sounds to see which matches the texture of the overall vibe of the beat. So you might be thinking, okay, that sounds cool, but how does this really help me with sound selection? Here's the thing, whenever you're making a beat, you need to be feeling, not thinking. So the last thing that needs to be on your mind is, I like this beat and I love it. How can I have better sounds for this beat? You don't need to really be thinking that, but you do need to be feeling that. What different snare can I use to bring out emotions? What can I stack on top of this main kick to really make it pop or to really give it some body? How exactly can I do that? You don't really need to be thinking about it and kind of searching through your collection. You need to be feeling it. And here in FL Studio with this browser shortcut, this is going to allow you to just do it at will. Just do it while the music is still flowing. You can even have an artist in the studio with you and not worry about killing the vibe by just sorting through all kinds of different folders. This shortcut is going to help you save time, save the vibe, and make some crazy beats. Tip number 4, we have full sample preview. So let's say you just purchased a fresh pack of loops and you want to listen to the whole thing instead of getting cut off after a few seconds whenever you're previewing it here in FL Studio, which it does by default. What you're going to do here, going to go up here in the upper left corner, Gonna go ahead and scroll down until we get to full sample preview. Gonna go ahead and click on that. Now, whenever you select those loops, the system is gonna play the whole thing and not interrupt you while you're in the middle of it. And on top of that, while you're actually previewing the entire loop, which you can do now, you can actually hit shift on your keyboard and actually skip through different portions of the loop. So you don't have to open Edison to search for kind of obscure parts of the loop or sample. You can do it right here in the FL Studio browser window. Just use shift, click around, and you can just scan and skip right through it. And tip number 5, using folder tabs. We all have our favorite pack of drums. Hell, some of us even use the same 3 or 4 kicks for every beat. Let's just be honest, guys. Here in the browser window, you can actually create tabs so you can easily access them. We're just gonna go ahead and right click on the folder. We can use open in new tab if we want to create a new folder, or we can use add folder to tab so we can just keep stacking them. So let me show you what I mean by that. I have a pre-existing folder called Rockets Hi-Hat Loop Kit, which you can get at DesmondASounds.com. It's actually free. I'm just gonna go ahead and add Des A loops to that same tab. Let's go ahead and click on that. Now, once I go to Rocket Hi-Hat Loop Kit, this specific tab, you can see we have the Des A loops, Rocket Hi-Hat Loop Kit, and I could just keep adding folders. So let's say I have a bunch of different kicks in different areas of my computer. I could just have an entire kick tab here, entire snare tab. Maybe I have different loops with different vibes and moods and things like that. I could just go ahead and use this option, create it, and I can easily access them. And you can also just right click on it, and if you want to rename it, you can just click on that, and I'll just name this new. Go ahead and name it new, so that way you can kind of help yourself keep track as you're creating these different tabs. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you comment FL Gang below. I need to know that you're actually finding value from these videos and you want me to keep making them. Also, make sure you hit like and subscribe. My name is Desmond A, and I'll be back with more great videos. Peace.
Desmond A.